Venom: The Last Dance is out now. While we have to say goodbye to Venom and Eddie, well, we get to say hello to a lot of new symbiotes. And today we're going to take a look at all the symbiotes out there, ranking them all from weakest to strongest. So let's get to it. Lasher was created by the Sinister Life Foundation, one of the 5 symbiotes created out of Venom. Because it wasn't a natural born symbiote, well, Lasher is weaker than most other symbiotes out there. And because he didn't have a strong bond of his mercenary host, well, Lasher was able to be easily defeated. However, he does have a unique ability in that he can remotely control dead animals. So I guess that's something. Agony was another one of the 5 symbiotes that the Life Foundation created out of Venom. The same can basically be said for her as with Lasher. She's not a natural symbiote. She's not as powerful as other symbiotes, but she does have her own specific power. The ability to spit acid. She can break down her own body, transform it into acid, then spit it out at opponents, melting pretty much everything in its way. A pretty useful power to have. Mr. E is one of the first symbiotes ever created by Knull. It's a proto-symbiote. While it looks like a living shadow, it's actually made out of living dark matter. It seems to have a stronger connection to the void than other symbiotes, but it's actually weaker than most other symbiotes out there. But Mr. E is also extremely arrogant and cocky, a combination that finally did it in. Misery is a hybrid symbiote created by Alchemax, combining both the Carnage symbiote and the Anti-Venom into one. But here's the catch. While Misery does have the combined powers of Carnage and Anti-Venom, the two symbiotes still hate each other. They're constantly fighting and trying to destroy the other. This leads to Misery constantly regenerating and has given the symbiote a seriously powerful healing factor. Riot is another one of the 5 symbiotes created by the Life Foundation to serve as their enforcers. And unlike all the other symbiotes, Riot doesn't have any special or unique powers. But what Riot does have going for him is that he's massive and he's strong. He's a beast who just wants to smash and destroy everything around him. And he's powerful enough to do it. Another one of the Life Foundation experiments, Phage, bonded with a mercenary Karl Mach, basically became a super soldier. It's got the ability to create razor-sharp blades that can cut through anything in its path, and Phage even went on to bond with Deadpool for a time, which is a terrifying thought. Mania actually isn't its own symbiote, but a clone of Venom taken from a piece of his tongue, created by the Ararat Corporation as a weapon to help exterminate all life on Earth. And unlike pretty much every other symbiote out there, Mania has absolutely no desire to bond with a host. Instead, Mania seems to enjoy just killing any potential host simply because that's what makes it happy. Another Life Foundation symbiote, Scream, has kinda stepped out the most on her own compared to the other 4. In fact, she managed to destroy the other 4, became the most powerful of them all. She's also got her own unique power like the rest of them did. For Scream, it's trichokinesis, or the ability to manipulate her hair in a fight. The hybrid symbiote is actually the result of Scream destroying the other 4 symbiotes. They all merged into one, became the most powerful of them all. Hybrid has all the unique powers that each symbiote had before, but because it's 4 symbiotes and 1 host, well, they find it hard to work as one and maintain a strong symbiotic relationship. After the death of the Scream symbiote, well, scientists began to experiment on it and tried to revive it. Well, when that didn't work, they fused the Scream symbiote with the Anti-Venom symbiote, creating Silence. The new symbiote has the combined powers of both the Scream symbiote and Anti-Venom. One that comes in particularly handy is the ability to disconnect other symbiotes from the hive mind, which was very useful during the war with Null. Sleeper is a natural-born child of Venom, and because it didn't instantly bond with a host, well, Sleeper is actually unique amongst other symbiotes. It's got advanced camouflage, it can put its enemies to sleep with a neurotoxin, and probably most key is that Sleeper is very advanced and very smart. It even went so far as to lobotomize its host and just use it as a puppet so as not to be influenced or manipulated. After Eddie Brock's cancer was cured by Mr. Negative, well, the new antibodies in his blood actually ended up mutating and changing Venom, creating Anti-Venom. And like the name suggests, well, Anti-Venom is the exact opposite of the normal symbiote. While most other symbiotes are out there just causing destruction and mayhem, well, Anti-Venom actually has the power to heal and cure anyone it touches. And on top of that, it's completely immune to fire and sound, the symbiote's trademark weaknesses. Scorn is unique among all other symbiotes. It's the child of Carnage, and because its host has a prosthetic arm, well, Scorn is actually a techno-hybrid symbiote, meaning that it's got all the powers and abilities of a normal symbiote. It's actually strong enough to fight against Carnage, but Scorn is also able to combine with and manipulate all technology around her, making her a serious threat. Bedlam is actually a temporal offshoot of Eddie Brock, the version of Eddie that hated Peter and his only goal was revenge against Spider-Man. Like the other Kings in Black, Bedlam can project his mind into any symbiote at any point in space or time, and he's full of rage and power, just pure will and drive to dominate against his opponent. Carnage is one of Venom's children, and after bonding with the serial killer Cletus Cassidy, well, Carnage has become one of Marvel's most evil villains. Carnage is insane, incredibly violent, and since it bonded with a serial killer, well, that symbiotic bond only made it even more dangerous. Carnage is powerful enough to fight against both Spider-Man and Venom at the same time, and has constantly proven himself to be Venom's greatest enemy. Born from Carnage, Toxin is actually the 1000th symbiote in its lineage, was feared to be extremely powerful and very dangerous. He's got the same powers as both Venom and Carnage, except is stronger than both of them combined. In fact, Toxin has so much potential that even Null was afraid of the raw power that Toxin possesses. But Toxin is basically like a kid, and that holds him back, prevents him from tapping into his seemingly insane amount of power. Grendel is a massive symbiote dragon created by Null himself. In an attempt to stop the light from spreading in the universe, Null gave birth to the symbiote dragons, powerful beings able to destroy everything in their way. Grendel doesn't need to bond with a host, is all rage and power and fury, able to kill gods and destroy whole civilizations. The symbiote dragons are the most powerful warriors in Null's army, and Grendel might be the most powerful dragon of them all. All Black the Necrosword was originally associated with Gorr the God Butcher, a powerful and deadly weapon that allowed Gorr to enact his deicide and kill all the gods. However, it was later revealed that the sword is actually the first symbiote created by Null, the god of the symbiotes. Forged using the corpse of Celestial, All Black is in a different league of power than pretty much everything else. It's able to not just kill gods, but was even able to corrupt Galactus or turn a star black. Born from the primordial void, Null is the eldritch god of darkness and the creator of all the symbiotes. But after the Celestials invaded in his kingdom of darkness, well, Null created the Necrosword and started a one-man war against the Celestials. However, after the All Black was lost, Knull instead decided to create an army of symbiotes that he would send out to conquer the universe, all while sitting on his dark throne. Knull is a god with the power to manipulate the abyss that existed before creation, bringing life out of the darkness. He can control all symbiotes, is virtually immortal, and is one of the biggest threats in the entire Marvel universe. But there's one symbiote more powerful than its creator, and that's Venom. Now, Venom and Eddie Brock aren't the most powerful symbiotes when we measure raw power, but what they have going for them is determination and willpower. Time and time again, Venom has fought against more dangerous symbiotes, and just through sheer will is always able to come out on top. And because of that, well, Venom was even able to be powered up by the God of Light and defeat Knull once and for all, taking his place as the new King in Black, and seeking to repair the damage and pain done by Knull. Yeah, if he can beat Knull, well then that makes Venom the most powerful symbiote out there. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.